button up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's nice to see everyone here this afternoon. I'm glad to see my representative on the job. I'm here to speak in favor. I agree with the summary that Mayor Cicilline has provided the committee and certainly everyone who is watching today relative to H6214, which would allow cities and towns to assess a fee of up to 25% of the tax rate for institutions that own more than $20 million in real estate. While we recognize that the contributions of the universities and hospitals in Providence, which are among the largest exempt holders, much of the revenue they generate goes to the state coffers, bypassing the city altogether. As a result, we have to rely on property taxes paid by individual homeowners and small business owners to generate revenue for all of our city services and our schools. The burden is too great on our residents. For Providence, the impact fee alone could generate approximately $16 million, and I know we heard earlier that it's more like, Mr. Chairman, you pointed out, it was more like $18.8 million annually in fees from colleges and hospitals. Currently, Providence receives $1.8 million annually in voluntary payments from our four largest universities and nothing from the hospitals. The impact fee would affect, or this bill, the H6214, would affect only the largest tax exempts, those over $20 million in real estate holdings, which we believe to be a fair way and a fair standard for trying to collect some property taxes. The fee would only be a small fraction of the rate assessed to every other property owner in the city. Just some background, close to 40% of assessed property value in Providence pays no taxes. Large nonprofit institutions own property valued at approximately $3.2 billion. If the large nonprofit institutions paid the full commercial property tax rate, it would generate around $88 million a year from the city of Providence. Just one example, some time ago in 2003, I chaired the commission on to study tax-exempt institutions in Providence. We had people in from Harvard and Yale and had a good discussion about how tax exempts are, particularly universities and hospitals, how they benefit a community, but also what their responsibility is in terms of the host city and paying for the services of a host city. Not to point one out, but I can tell you one of the larger institutions that came up in the discussion was 55 Power Street, and that's the residence of the president of Brown University. That house is valued at $1.2 million. Now, if you do the math, I think I did the math appropriately, I think it's about $31,000 in taxes. I don't know what a residence, and there's all respect to the president and to the people who run the institutions, but a private residence for a CEO of an institution like Brown University to pay no taxes on a residence. It's living quarters. There's no education going on, as far as I know, at the residence. While Catholic rectories pay taxes on the facilities and the homes where our Catholic priests and the nuns and the convents all pay property taxes on those living quarters. So that's just something to think about. It is a level of unfairness, I believe, and perhaps it's been going on for so long that we've kind of gotten numb to it. But the fact is, these are difficult times, and taxpayers in the city of Providence already pay an awful lot of money in property taxes. And every time we've asked them for increased taxes, they've obliged. They understand. Our community groups understand. But we believe, and the council and the city administration is on board, this has to stop. We have to get to a point where there is a fair standard applied to tax-exempt institutions. That includes the hospitals and the colleges. So I would ask the committee to really think about this year. This is, if any year to do this, this is the year to actually right a wrong. So I thank you for your indulgence, and just to let you know that the City Council in Providence supports H6214. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilman?